Hi, I'm Paul from Find My Footwear, and today we're looking at a comparison of two great shoes, the Brooks Adrenaline GTS 24 and the brand new Brooks Adrenaline GTS 25. So let's dive in and look at the differences between them and decide if you should upgrade right now. First of all, the Adrenaline 24 from Brooks. This was the first Adrenaline model in the line of the previous 23 versions that featured Brooks DNA Loft V3 nitrogen-infused foam. Previously, it had been using a compression molded EVA type midsole, and whilst it was always a very popular shoe, the use of the nitrogen-injected foam really signalled a step forward for the Adrenaline. The nitrogen-injected foam, a single molecule, a more controlled environment in which to create the midsole cushioning, made it a little bit lighter, a little bit softer, more responsive and very durable as well. One thing that we can say for nitrogen type foams is their durability, and the drop off in the level of cushioning seems to remain quite consistent throughout the life of the shoes. So the Adrenaline 24 was a very popular shoe. The Adrenaline 25 still uses the same DNA Loft V3 nitrogen infused foam, but now we see more of it. We've got 1mm more in the heel, 3mm more in the forefoot. So we've got an overall higher spike, but a slightly lower drop. The drop is now down to 10mm. Now, it's only 2mm. It really isn't that noticeable, but what I did find in the first few runs that I've been doing in the Adrenaline GTS 25 is that it feels a little bit more balanced. Because it's using the same guide rails, the foot seems to sit, it sits slightly lower in the shoe, but it does feel more balanced and it feels a very smooth ride. The weight of the new shoe is up a little bit, but it's only like less than half an ounce. So it really doesn't feel anything on the foot at all. With one on my left foot, one on my right foot, I didn't really notice any different. And the fit of the GTS 25, I think, is much better, it's improved. So it feels more balanced around the foot. It's a snugger, closer fit. So I think the weight disappears evenly and you don't really notice it. A difference with the GTS 25 over the 24 is the geometry of the midsole, whereas on the new one we see a convex shape to the midsole wall on the lateral side of the shoe. When you strike the ground, this will keep the foot in a more supinated position a little bit before it rolls in, begins to pronate. And with the guide rails and a more flared medial side to the shoe, that does create extra stability. A word on the guide rails too. On the previous version, the 24, we can see the guide rail had a seam in it. It was made in a separate piece. It's co-molded on the 25, so it's one piece material. It's an extension of the cushioning up the side of the shoe, laterally and medially. Cuts the heel, provides great control. I've only seen a few people running in the shoe on the treadmill so far, but it's worked pretty much with everybody very well. Even the slight supinators, I find that the guide rail, the external extension on the lateral side, does get people to roll into neutral easier, seems to balance the foot out, but certainly for mild to moderate overpronators, very good level of control. The upper on the GTS 25 it is an improvement. Not that there was anything wrong with the GTS 24. It was still a very neat engineered mesh upper. I found it fit very well, particularly when the midfoot held the foot in place nicely. Lots of nice padding around the ankle collar, Achilles and in the tongue. The GTS 25 has stepped things up a little bit. We've got a new double jacquard engineered mesh construction. So double jacquard means it's a kind of this layered design. It's more plusher. It's more plusher all around the foot. It feels a little bit more padding to the upper. In winter, that's absolutely fine. It should remain breathable enough throughout the summer. I know some people will be talking about it's heavy, it's thick, it's not breathable. I've never really had an issue with any shoe being unbreathable, regardless of the weather. But again, nice padding, particularly in the ankle collar. We've got this double layer kind of construction, so lots of padding next to the foot, and then this stretchy tab. Very similar to the Glycerin of last year and other shoes like the Puma Mag Max and Asics Keanu all had a similar design kind of structure. The tongue in the GTS 25, much more padding, very plush here. Now I like that, and again, some people won't, but lots of padding means you can get the shoe nice and snug around the instep without it digging in the laces onto your foot. So something I like. Hopefully you will too. The outsoles, we have similar coverage of rubber, but there's more obvious flex grooves. So we've got a more segmented outsole to the GTS 25, and it does make the shoe feel, I mean, it's very nimble. Despite the extra cushioning there, it does flex and move very easily. And I've done a few strides in the Adrenaline 25 as well, and it felt much more nimble than the 24. It also feels a little bit softer because of the extra 3mm of cushioning in the forefoot. So it does feel a little bit livelier. I think it makes the shoe a little bit more versatile. So overall, yes, it's top to bottom improvements or refinements, shall we say. It's evolution rather than revolution from the 24 to the 25, and that's a good thing. Still going to be Brooks' most popular shoe in the support type category, and I think it works very well, and it will continue to do so. Price is up a little bit, around $10. But I think it keeps it in line with other shoes on the market, and in this price point, it's a very competitive, if not the best value shoe for a daily cushioned support type shoe. There are going to be new contenders. There's going to be a new Saucony Guide 19 in the spring, along with a New Balance 860 V15. There's also going to be a new Glycerin from Brooks in a month or so. So it's that time of year when there's a lot of new shoes, but so far, I've seen a few of them. I think the Adrenaline is going to keep pace with the market and still prove to be the most popular, if not one of the most popular shoes in this category. So I think it's certainly worth the upgrade. It's a great improvement on the fit, the ride, and the cushioning is just, it's great. It's very smooth, it's very supportive, and it's a great everyday trainer for those people that need a degree of support and control. I'm sure there's going to be questions on this one. It's a very popular shoe. Stick them down below. I will always endeavour to answer them. And please give the video a like and follow the channel for lots more shoe reviews coming through spring 26. Thanks for watching.